Yeah, man. Yes.
We back.
We back, man. Welcome back, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Again, you know what my name is. My name is Jacques Wright.
This is Adrian Peace.
And we are the Nice Guys Podcast. So we got something a little bit different this week. We want to kind of give props, or we want to give our commemoration to Nipsey Hussle. So that's why I got the piece in the background.
Looking immaculate back there. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Umi Art District.
Oh, yeah, shout out to my
put that right here.
Put that, yeah. Umi Art District, follow me, man. I definitely would appreciate anybody requesting, commission work and stuff. I do events. I got stuff coming up, so definitely excited for that. Mm-hmm. But I think it only makes sense. I mean, especially what we're doing, what we do individually, like as entrepreneurs and also people that still grinding, doing what we got to do, to give him his props. It's
Absolutely.
One of the black owners that definitely had one of those tragic situations, but still left something, I think, prolific. I think he stood for that, and he stood the test of time, and I like his story. I like that Rag the Riches story, that somebody came over, parent was an immigrant, blase blah, was able to intrinsically move and still maneuver within the community, but still had that innate sense of, ownership and entrepreneurship, and he definitely stood out front.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, I feel like Nip also was built to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? I was in if y'all don't know me, man, I'm in a different place now, but if y'all know me back in the day, I used to deal with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, whatever. And I was in a very dark space when I first moved to Florida, and I watched his top 10 rules to success. Actually, no, I was on the south side. I was in my grandma. Shout out to my grandma family and all them. Rest in peace, my grandmother, actually. I was actually on the south side of Chicago, 85th and Long, and I was on my computer, I had a Fujitsu laptop, and I was like, yo, I need something to inspire. And I was just going through YouTube, and I came across this dude talking about real estate.
Okay.
Talking real estate. They got that real estate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm going to invest in some real estate. I ain't going to trick off my money. I'm going to get some real estate. And dude he had the braid. I was like, man, this cat right here, He intelligent. He's like standing out amongst all the other cats, but he blended in so well. I was just like, who is this cat? And then from that on, I just was infatuated with his whole concept. When he was talking, I did some research on him, found out the song Check Me Out. I was like, that was my jam for a long time. It used to get me to the rail line. Shout out to anybody on the south side of Chicago. I used to ride right on 87th Street down to the rail line, go downtown, off State Street. I used to work this company. I want to say what company I used to work at, because some people might come after me. that company bogus, but for real, we couldn't even wear our paraphernalia. We couldn't wear it outside. Wow. That's how, it was that's crazy. Bad property management company. That's all I'm going to say to that. But anyway, his music Isaiah Rashad, and a couple people from TDE, I used to listen to them pretty heavy, like the West Coast vibe. And it's still pretty, prevalent in my rotation to this day. But just what he was talking about, having a plan, you know what I'm saying? Being motivated, staying on top of what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? So that you don't fail, being persevering. Like, he was just saying a lot of different things I felt like was prolific. Right. He stood by everything that he stood on. And his voice, when I heard his voice, he chose the right mic. He was like on some Michael Jackson. He said in one of his interviews, he was like, I chose that mic specifically because I wanted my voice to pop. You know what I'm saying? So that energy he carried on came through his music, his confidence. He knew he was great. Absolutely. And I wanted to talk about him in this. What's been your experience, bro?
Man, so I think, I was just looking this up. Like, when this song came out, the first song I heard by him, which was my introduction to him, was the joint with Drake, Killer. I'm a motherfucking killer. You ain't heard that?
I ain't never heard that.
Oh, man.
It sounds like it's hard.
Let the beat bang on, claim colors. Yeah, that was Drake. But
that's nice.
Of course, Drake being on it, like, brought me to it because I didn't know who Nipsey was. Right. But after hearing him on it, I thought it was Drake's song. Then found out it was Nipsey, and just like, I was like, okay, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So since that day, I think I was a freshman in high school. I was in like a BCIS, like computer systems class or something like that. We supposed to be working on something, but everybody, we on computers just doing whatever we want to do. And so I think I was on like djbooth.net. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all who remember that. You know what I'm saying? It was DJ Booth, and it was something else. Something else we used to get. It was like only a few sites you could get on. Yeah. On the school's network or whatever. But yeah, djbooth.net. I was on there and found that, and been a fan ever since, and really didn't even like understand the the full scope of everything that he meant to the West Coast and to hip hop, and until I would say really until he dropped Victory Lap, or until his marketing run leading up to Victory Lap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's when I really started to realize, like, oh, this dude is doing a lot in his community. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's making some huge moves and changing the game. Yeah,
being bold about it. I think he definitely wanted to represent that, rag to riches, and I was talking about that before, and I love those type of stories just because he's letting you know, if I can do it, you can do it too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, say you can do it too. Like, that's a real song. But I mean, for real, another concept with Nip sticking on the script. He just, honestly, to me, overcame a lot of obstacles. Yeah. And I think he also understood, like, divine timing. Because when his story he talked about was him slaying or doing, he did hustling outside of a store location and being removed and doing everything legitimate, and then going back and actually owning the entire, mall. So, I mean, he did that whole, like, flip the script. Okay, you tell me I can't do something or give me a little bit of game, I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it, prolific. Even when he built his first computer, he was somebody taking little parts and pieces and built it. So he just had a tenacity, and a lot of that does exist within our communities. There's a lot of Nips. I mean, there is, obviously we know about COINTELPRO. We obviously know about the, Judas and the Black Messiah and Fred Hampton and cats like that in the Black Panther movie. But, there is a Messiah complex. They kind of talk about, we didn't go into deep. That definitely will be another episode. But with him, I definitely felt like he definitely represented, it could have very well been another chapter if we want to talk about the Songbook. His story, I feel like it definitely could have been that, because he definitely showed that he was a human being. Yeah. But he also, not only did he have those talents, but I think he brought out the good in other people that he had on his team as well too. Like, I don't know too much about, Fats and the cats like that or Black Sam, but I feel like they all worked together and they had this tenacity that just really allowed them to press through all types of thresholds. Right. You know what I mean? And it motivates me personally, because I've seen situations where I've had to sleep in, bed bugs and air mattresses and, wash up in the most, I don't even want to talk about it. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Now I'm at a point where I'm a little bit more comfortable. People didn't understand the vision and understand what I wanted to do, and didn't understand me moving to Florida or whatever the hell I was doing. Like, I'm moving, I'm following divinity. I'm following what the universe is telling me to do. And I think when you follow that, you and align with your purpose, you have inevitably that. Now, I feel like his life and his untimely demise is something else. I don't understand those checks and balances all the way through. I'm still impuzzled. It took me a minute to even listen to his music again, because I just did not understand how something so tragic could happen to somebody that was doing such, great, accomplishing all these great feats. But I also think to myself as well, because he was so embedded in what he wanted to do, it was almost damn near inevitable. Because most cats that get to his stature, they know not to stay in those same areas. Yeah. But he was even more legendary because he still felt that love and still felt that genuine presence within his own community. But unfortunately, what happened to him happened to him. Right. Outside of his place. And let's talk about that and get that out the way. But so where were you at in that moment? I'm loving that you asked that question. I was gonna ask you the same. My boy, y'all understand? I be like the synchronicity is crazy. So I'm sitting there. I ain't gonna lie, I'm watching a live action film, The Dumbo. With my ex. Y'all gonna it might be in the promo. Yes, I was watching Dumbo. All right. And I was like, this movie is trash. But then I saw on my phone a notification about him being shot. And unfortunately, the saddest thing about that is that in our community, almost like with Pac, when we get shot or get shot at, he gonna. Yeah. Like, we bulletproof. Yeah. Shout out to Raheem Devon. Like, living like we bullet. Like literally, like, you get shot that many times, and in my mind, which is so crazy and should be not nomenclature at all, like, we think, okay, he probably gonna survive 6 shots. I think he could make it. Yeah. But when you saw what dramatically happened in that situation, I'm like, oh, there's no way. I mean, he got shot in the head. And kicked in the head, and all types of, wildness at that very moment. But at that moment, I was there, and it definitely hurt. I shed tears. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't like no tough cat in that one. I was sad, bro. Man. I definitely cried. I feel you. I had to put my head down. I don't cry in front of people. That don't never happen. I'm serious. Y'all understand. I don't cry like that. I've never been a crybaby. So yeah, but man. So yeah, like we was it was me and Dez.
Desmond Walker, shout out. We was visiting Bake. Bake was living in Austin at the time.
Okay.
And we had just come back from visiting him, coming back. So we was probably not even an hour out of Austin. And I was, scrolling on my phone, Dad's driving because I don't like to drive. And then, so he driving. And then, I'm scrolling on my phone and I see the notification, thank goodness for Twitter at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, dang. I was like, bro, they saying Nipsey just got shot.
Man, and look at that impact. Like the fact that people, unfortunately, I'm not saying this is right, people get hurt and harmed all the time.
Yeah.
When he got hurt, it was like, whoa. Yeah. He was still, wasn't he? I think he had a deal, but it wasn't like a full 360. They had like a joint. Like he had one of them setups, like almost like Master P. Like he still had ownership of a lot of stuff he was doing, even though he was with, I forget who he was signed with.
Yeah.
What kind of deal he had set up, but it was like a distribution deal. But he was still kind of like representing like that formality of being independent. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of sense, like in terms of business sense and everything else he was doing, and like moving with the whole cryptocurrency situation, integrating technology in the store, doing like really profound things. So like he definitely was making a presence, even though he didn't even have a Grammy yet. So a lot of people, look for the accolades, but that impact is a lot more, I think, essential. So his impact just kind of resonated, showed even more when something like that tragic happened to him.
For sure, yeah. Like, I mean, it was like you talking about you cried, like I no call, no show to work the next day. Like I was like, nah, I'm not. I didn't get out of bed for a minute because it was like hit me and it brought up like a bunch of like, old grief as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is not somebody that I know personally, but it feel like it's somebody that I know personally.
And he made it that way.
Yeah. It's like, you listen to those words, like the words in his music weren't just like words. You know what I'm saying?
Like it spoke to your soul.
Yeah. It's like, that's why I appreciate people like Larry June and stuff like that. Cause it's like, this stuff like, even with Larry June, like it's something so simple. Well, woke up this morning.
Yeah, but
drinking water, water my plants and stuff like that. It's like I am watering my plants. You know what I'm saying? It's like you connect to it on a different level, even when it's something so simple. So when it's something prolific, like Nipsey was speaking and really telling his story and it's things that you relate to and stuff like that, it resonates on a deeper level. Yeah. And then you see the man behind the words is actually living it and actually, going through, just living out his words and being a living, walking example of what he is telling you can do. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other level to it.
Yeah, it is. And I appreciate artists like that, where people just in general are able to connect with people like that. Because it's sometimes I'm learning how to be more extroverted. Like when you're introverted, it's hard. You always connect with folks and it feel awkward. But when people that can just naturally do that in in certain specific aspects of their life, even as an artist, like I'm still learning how to perform and feel vulnerable as a singer. Because in my mind, I'm like, everything's terrible. Yeah. And then I watch the movie, the show, but I'm like, I sounded really good. But in my mind, everything is just going wrong. And it's like I'm not even like thinking about what your experience is and how you're feeling. I'm always just fully critiquing myself. You know? So for people that can do that and live outside of that and can connect with people, at that level, even through that artistry, I really appreciate Nip did it as well too. Evidently, and Larry June, of course, shout out to him. You know what it is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Orange juice, you know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
Keep going, Larry. You gotta speak them words of positivity. And then again, we talk about the play on words and spells, like the words you speak, they do create the universe that you have around you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we speak positivity, like this is gonna be, y'all see it now, but this pie is gonna be huge.
Right.
We're going to be
absolutely
uber successful with this, and I want y'all to be a part of that as well, too. I'm not sure what we're going to call our group of people.
Our fan base.
Like the nice guys. Or
our community.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to call them, besides the nice guys and the good women. I don't know what they call y'all just yet.
They'll name themselves, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see how that works out. We ain't got no Tyler Tigers and, the bell ringers. We ain't got none of that stuff just yet. We getting there, though.
It's coming. You know what I'm saying? It's coming.
So, but yeah, man, we definitely... we recognize those things. Now, the next thing I definitely want to talk about with Nip was also just, we have a lot of things going on the internet, gender wars and crazy stuff like that. And I like the fact that he was able to find I feel like he found his soulmate through
Lauren London.
And I was shocked by it too. I'm not saying he couldn't, deal with her or pull it. It was just like their synchronized, their harmony. It seems so peaceful.
For real.
Shout out to her, man. I hope that you're doing good, Lauren London. I know it's a lot to take on as a woman when somebody like that, gets harmed, that you connected with and had a child with, because that's a lot for a woman to say, yo, I'm gonna let you,
The way that it seemed like the way that whole family handled it was just like so graceful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
like
that too.
Her mother, like his mother, the grandmother, like. Yeah.
The
way they all just handled it, especially when you got, a million cameras in your face and stuff like that, like
tasteful. Everything was tasteful. I mean, even like
incredible.
Just making sure to keep his daughter and son safe, because obviously, unfortunately, the first woman he was with, she actually had shitty cuz in the crib in one of the pictures. I'm like, oh wow. What kind of stuff is this? He's been in the crib and everything. So she goes, he's been around. You know what I'm saying? So. So to me, I feel like for him to be able to find that peace in somebody that was at that same level, I'm happy for them both that have had been able to share that. So I'm just want to put that out there as well, because Black love, it's hard nowadays. I don't know what is going on, but Nip was able to find some of that before he left here, and I'm glad he was able to find that peace, man, because not everybody can find that. As a man, I can tell you that it's very hard to find it nowadays. There's so much brokenness and so much pain out there. Yeah. Maybe this is going to be a problem, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of pain out there.
Indeed.
And for him to be able to establish his business, come out of, his grassroots situation, pick his bootstraps up, be able to sustain a business, keep his people around, keep them fed, and then also find a woman that he can actually, share the rest of his life with, essentially in that situation. At peace, I think that was definitely prolific in itself as well.
Absolutely. That's such a blessing. Like you said, it's tough. It is tough out here. And to, somebody who, clearly like from, being with Wayne in that situation to, to
Lil Wayne, shout out to you, homie.
Shout out to Wayne.
They sung together a little just like Lil Wayne. I'm like,
for
curly hair. I'm like, that dude look like Lil Wayne with curly hair. When he smile, I'm like, why that boy is spitting image? Lil Wayne got some strong jams.
For real. Yeah, but it's just crazy how, life works out and you end up finding a way to, like you said, somebody who seemingly was her soulmate like that, and to gracefully go through what she went through. So that's amazing.
That was cool. He spoke that and it came. You see how powerful your words, you speak certain things and then they come closer to you. Yeah. But sometimes when Nip did mention in his music that kind of would, a little bit bothered me was that, I'm surprised I haven't gotten shot and killed by now, just based on some of the stuff he did. And it's just like, you got to be very careful of those words that you speak out there, because that frequency does resonate, and it can bring those things closer to you. So you have to be very...
That is way too many people just like that have done that and ended up dead at 27 or 33. It's like those are the two numbers.
Yeah, and actually I had a cousin, man. He said that, man. Rest in peace, Max C. My cousin Reese. He was he was kind of. I don't want to get into his details. All I can say is that his funeral was a lot of Latin kings there. So, but he was a Black Latin king. He had his own little sect there. He used to be involved in a lot of stuff. And you can't do this on our territory. You got to be a part of something. And he spoke a lot of that when we were younger as kids. I'd be surprised in my ear to live past 21. I live on the east side crazy. Shout out Chicago. Y'all know what it is. But 85th and Buffalo, y'all know what that's at. And just knowing that area, he was speaking some things, and when he passed away, it was just as impactful. You know what I'm saying, for me, because it was like two different worlds. Like, I'm at college finishing up my semester with my ex, or my girl at the time. We was all packed up in our car ready to go back home and drop each other. She gonna drop me off home. She gonna go about her way or whatever the situation was. And I got that call, man. It was great because that song by R. Kelly, I Wish, came on. Soon my uncle, my cousin, because my dad called me. I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, man, Reese just got killed. I'm like, bro, stop playing. I hung up. I ain't believe it. I was like, you tripping, bro. He not dead. We supposed to be kicking it in a couple weeks. I'm gonna cut his hair, chill, smoke one or two, whatever, and just chill. But it was the truth. He got set up by a young lady. So, we got to be careful, out there nowadays. So when you can find that good woman that's not going to do those type of things, and you living a clean, peaceful lifestyle, enjoy that, appreciate that. You know what I mean?
In the words of Life Jennings, hey, yo, when you find somebody good, hold on to
them tight, man. Don't let them go. But no, definitely, man. Though that impact, man, just it hurts to see that in our communities, but it happens.
For real.
So, but also, man, I just want to talk about some of the other things he talked about as well. Doing one to actually accomplish. So he did talk about like the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Right. He wanted to create STEMs within the community so he can actually create an environment. He also wanted to speak to the police force and bring the Bloods and the Crips together. And it's like he was doing things. Obviously, he was heavily influenced by Malcolm X and Nation of Islam. They was involved in certain things and knew him pretty well as well. So he had a lot of conversations with Minister Farrakhan.
Yeah.
And I think it was definitely a lot that was supposed. I actually missed, unfortunately, before that event took place. I missed his opportunity to see by the block. He did a concert and a panel for that. The whole concept. He was buying up property and real estate in this community, which is really they're trying to gentrify a lot of those areas that he's going into. So there's a lot of conspiracy about how he really passed, but I think some of the other stuff was a little far-fetched now that you know the story. With, Eric Holden, F him. We're going to get into that a little bit as well, but the fact that he had that mindset and that notion to really try to provide education as well, too.
Yeah. That's something that's like, in part because of him, is something that's really near and dear to my heart as well, because like, as a rapper, I don't even like calling myself that, but just because it's like, everybody want to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of little cousins and stuff like that.
Consider yourself an artist.
I definitely do. You know what I'm saying? But primarily being a hip hop artist, I got little cousins that definitely in the past have looked up to me, and it's just like, man, I love that you're inspired by my creativity to want to do your own creativity, but it's like the last thing that I really want to inspire somebody to do is rap. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Because it's everything that comes along with it. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? And if you not, and it shouldn't be like that.
Because we created that. That's an environment that we created. Shout out to 50 years of hip hop, because we created No More. We created the whole. I took a hip hop philosophy culture class in college, whatever, and we created that. We created that means of communication to kind of spread information, because we understood that communication was powerful. Words are powerful. I mean, think about it. Like, obviously, with us come over here in slavery and them, taking over the place that we know as America, everybody speaks English. Yeah, and that's intentional. Like when a person, walks by your religion, speaks your language, reads your books, they won the war. So, of course, if we were trying to survive, like, because everything that we've done from, like, when you think about Ebonics, it's a derogatory term, but it's a way of us being able to communicate with each other in our own way, And the only reason why it's seen that way as derogatory or whatever is because of the fact that if you allow somebody within your space in order to create their own situation and identity and have, power to be able to do so, and at that point, they're able to be an adversary. Then at that point, they have power to be able to, okay, I can challenge you now. So if I can take everything that you create and turn it into something negative, you know what I mean? Then at that point, I'm still winning. Or if I can just control the narrative, I'm still winning. So to me, I'm a little bit on the other side of it. I feel like whatever allows you to communicate and build, if it's effective, keep doing it. And if it touches you as an artist or whatever you want to consider, like, I see what you're trying to say too. Yeah. But I feel like we should not be in that space. It should be like, and we should have more ownership in it as well too,
Yeah.
So
ownership. It's like, all right, if we truly had ownership of it, I might feel differently. But it's like, we don't really choose we choose what becomes popular, but not what becomes profitable.
Sexy Red, ugh. I had to just throw that out there. There might be a promo. You're disgusting, Sexy Red. I cannot stand you. I don't want to knock you and break you down. So I'm trying to be careful with my words, be impeccable with my words. But what you're representing, I'm hoping that it changes at some point. Maybe some like the Black China chick, like trying to change her ways and stuff. I hate the fact that you would have to do that in order to get some notoriety, over sexualize yourself, or be ratchet because you're influencing these young women to think that this is okay. It's becoming turbulent, it's becoming toxic within our communities and unacceptable because you should be able to carry yourself in a way that's not that way. So I see what you're saying as well too.
Yeah, and it's like we act like the J. Cole's and Kendrick Lamar's are supposed to be outliers. And everybody else is supposed to be, no offense to these gentlemen, but like supposed to be the money bag yos and the I don't even listen to that kind of music, so it's like that offense. I don't even know who to really name. I like Moneybagg, I like Dolph, I like all those cats because they actually have substance in their stuff. But it's like everybody else is supposed to be that hood rapper who talks about trapping, who talks about killing niggas, who talks about like if you're not that, you're the outlier. You know what I'm saying? So even coming into the game, it's like, who's gonna look at you if you rapping on some lyrical miracle type stuff? Who's gonna look at you or take you seriously if you're not talking about your bodies? If you're not talking about how many guns you got? If you're not talking about how hard you are? You know what I'm saying? And that's some of the things that Nipsey was talking about. Like, we got to change the way that we react to things. We got to change the way that we look at like somebody disrespecting you or something like that, and get out of these mindsets that keep us living the same cycles and stuff like that. And it's like, so how can I, knowing what it means for me to, I don't know, like saying some of the words that I say, you know what I'm saying? I know the responsibility that comes with that, and I know that even if I'm saying something 100% truthful, it could still be taken the wrong way or taken to mean something that I didn't necessarily want it to mean to somebody else, and create a potentially dangerous situation for me when I step outside. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's just not a world that I want for somebody that I love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Young Dolph, man, unfortunately, even with that, speaking of people that just, because he had music with Nip as well, too. Shout out to Slauson Boys, too. Him being like, and what you're saying, like just going out to support a black-owned business to buy some cookies in a Lamborghini. You should not ever feel like you... I hate the fact that I even have to say it to people, like, if I was of that stature, I would get a hoopty so I can go to places and people wouldn't know who I am. Like, I would think that if I work hard enough to get something, that somebody would respect it just as much as I respect it. And then maybe ask me, like I said in the last part, ask me a question. I can probably put you on some game. Right. And not be disrespectful. I mean, I'm not talking about, the find 1,000 or the, what I'm saying, Jay-Z type thing, but I definitely would say if I can, encourage you or say something and be influential like Nip has done for me as well, and for you and a lot of millions of other people, right? That should be just as substantial, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm going to say this too, it's like, do not be somebody that takes things personally. Yeah, that's one of the four agreements. Don't take anything personally. I had to learn that recently. I've messed up with some stuff recently. It's so many people that think like if you say no to them, or if you you don't give them something, they take that personally. It's like the world is supposed to be arranged in a way that's meant to set them up for success. Like, everybody should be able to like picture. Like, I feel like you know what I'm saying, with Eric Holder. You know what I'm saying? Like, that situation of him, asking Nip for something and then, taking it as disrespect or whatever, and he come back and do what he did. It was never allegedly. That serious, bro. It's never that serious. It was not. I mean, they say, calling somebody, they got papers or whatever the situation is, detrimental to you in the hood, but it's never that serious. It was more so hatred. And that's something that I feel like until we really come to understanding, because a lot of people would say they want peace and they want things to be, tranquil, but until you're actually peaceful within yourself, it's hard to exude that outside of yourself. Yeah. So that's one thing that, I would hope, because hip-hop initially was supposed to be able to speak and communicate to the mind so that you can have, a sense of hope and understanding that people are going through the same thing as you, and let's provide a solution. Right. Then it became perverse. So now that's why I hate when people say, oh, don't be a rapper. Like, it's like being a teacher. Like, you're educating people on what's going on, but it's just like, how are you educating people? And, like you said, how is it being now manipulated and perverse in order to be, a gain for these major companies that are putting their kids through school while your kid is out there trying to live out what's being said and, influential within this music. Yeah. So
one thing I would say that's really impressive that Nip did was he took that he took accountability for what he was saying, and he knew what was up. He knew what he was trying to get at. He actually spoke it and then lived it out. Had a plan and didn't want anybody else to be, tampering with that situation. He wanted ownership. He wanted to show you that as an African American male or a person of, African descent in America can be able to accomplish these things.
Right.
It is very possible. And that if you take this avenue, you don't have to just stay, a hip hop artist. You can be that and also be more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never being complacent. Complacency is a disease. You know what I mean? So I'm never complacent. I'm always, but I've always been like that as a kid. My mother tell you like, that little nigga was everywhere into everything. Yeah. But, it's just like, why not try to explore this world and this dimension as much as you possibly can while you're here?
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest things is like people who feel like they don't have a purpose. It's like, well, you ain't tried nothing. It's like, try your hand at as many things as you can.
At least try.
And see what sticks. You know what I'm saying? Something gonna stick.
Yeah.
And that's how you figure out what you're supposed to do in life.
But at least you tried.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't even try.
Yeah.
The marathon continues. It's telling you that it's not going to happen in the short sprint. It's going to take some laps.
Yeah.
It's going to take some traction. It's going to take some.
And there's so many levels in that because it's like he had the marathon continues and it's also all money in. It's like
all money in.
You know what I'm saying? Once you find that thing that you want to run your marathon on,
invest in it.
Invest. You know what I'm saying? Go in on it. Put your everything into it.
We talking about that just before we got on the camera, man. Get some LLC so we can get some money to invest in what we're doing, man. So I keep looking, man. We're gonna keep building this up. So we want to represent, and that's the reason why I wanted this pod, because I feel like we're trying to represent that as well. We want to continue on that legacy to say that what we're doing, you can do as well. And everybody, and it might seem like we're just another podcast. We're not just another podcast.
Right.
I feel like we have another mission behind it. We're not doing this for, notoriety. We're doing this for the influence, because at the end of the day, once we actually leave this place, we're going to leave this behind. This is going to be our artwork, in a sense, you know what I'm saying, for somebody else to say. And we just hoping that something that we say influences you, impacts you, and then, maybe betters your day. Some line of hope, you know what I'm saying? And that, I think, in itself is a lot more beneficial than just saying, oh, yeah, I'm famous and I got on. What is it to become rich and keep it all to yourself? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be one of the type of cats that becomes successful and be a philanthropist and help other people and make an impact. You know what I'm saying? Because each one type situation is real for me.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? So it's not all for me, But yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of time before we take that.
Oh, it's gonna take flight. It's gonna take flight. I'm not gonna believe nothing else.
I was telling you, like, it's crazy, like
delusional. I don't care.
It's crazy, like Victory Lap and Redemption, the J-Rock album came out around the same time, and I was bumping those like back to back. It was like a crazy energy of like basically just taking everything that you've been through and just like saying we went through that, but this is where we going. And I just felt that, and I feel like even after Nipsey passed, after he left this earth, that energy though was still here. And it's like after the grieving process was kind of over, I really felt like just like a sense of crazy empowerment and energy, like that I felt like was from him. You know what I'm saying? Of like just the principles and stuff like that he tried to embed in people. I felt like that was, just kind of coming through in a lot of people, not just in myself, but like I could see that the impact that the imprint, I would say, that he left and people around me and stuff like that. Yeah. And that was, that's something to aspire to for sure. Yeah. Now, with that being said, I know it's gonna sound funny, but what do you feel like is your inner Nip? My inner Nip. Yeah, what is your inner? I said it. You can probably put it in the. What is your inner Nip? Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot that I relate. That feel like I relate to with him as far as just. I feel like we both kind of no nonsense people, very, commonsensical.
He did slap somebody. Now, rest in peace to the. Nah, I wish I had some stuff to pull. I'm like, boy, you slapped a man, you slapped a dog mess out of home. His arm was long to me. Had some long extendo arm.
For real.
Extendo slaps.
Snoop Dogg arms.
Yeah. I'm like, man.
I feel like we're both very common sense, no nonsense, straight to the point type of people, and I just really respect that, and respect how he moved and how it's just like people who live by a code. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stick to that code.
I think my internet with him, for me, how I connect is no boundaries. Mm-hmm. Just do it all. Yeah. Do it big. You know what I mean? Do it as big as you possibly can, and just make sure that while you're doing it, you're still helping out your common man at the same time. Do it. I was talking about the right you can without. I like that he was like, I'm big with it, but I'm showing you could do it. You could be just as cool. You could do that smooth as just like I'm doing it, and be uber successful and help everybody around you at the same time.
And shout out to Rebellious Society. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nip was a rebel. So I feel like that resonates as well. It's just like, he played the game to change the game, not just to play it. You gotta, like, who gonna tell me that my art is only worth 99 cents a song?
It's worth $100.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They say it sounds crazy. I used to always be like, man, make sure you raise them prices up. And I'll ask you, how much are you gonna charge? And every time you would tell me a big number, hours, you'd be smiling. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Raise that price every time somebody asks you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know your value, nobody else will know it either.
Exactly.
So that's just your grounds and where things are at. And I had to come to that understanding myself, We talked about, the humble thing. Just be a little modest, but don't be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like Nip was on that. He was like, look, man, if they can sell $100 cheesesteak, I can sell a $100 mixtape. It's supposed to be for free.
They selling all these art pieces for millions of dollars, and I'm selling my album for $10.
Rocco and all that. You feel me? And when Jay-Z did, like I said, he did that little subliminal, it was like, I'm gonna send you about 100 for 100. You know what I'm saying? 100 for 100. Right. 10 racks. He was like, that's cool. He's saying like, you see the vision. Right. I see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the way you think, and that's big. And just being able to see somebody think on that level and that skill, not be afraid to do it. Be rambunctious and understand that you are entitled to these things. You are entitled to greatness, period. Don't ever let your job tell you something, your family, your girlfriend, your kid, whatever. Don't let nobody ever tell you that you're not entitled to, because they will try to. Absolutely. And it's only because of the embedded insecurities they have within themselves.
I'm about to say, they might not even realize that they're doing it.
They don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? And, you can't let that. I've had people tell me when I was saying like 85th, I'm like, I can never, woo. I'm like, no, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna see how you do that, how you move, because I figured it out and I'm willing to take that chance. If I die doing it, I'm gonna die. Not trying to sound cynical, we all gonna pass away. So I'm gonna take a chance before I even get to that point. Yeah. Period. So live your life, and that's that inner Nip. Like, live your life to the fullest, because it's only you pushing that shit for the most part. There's people helping you along the way, but you still gotta have that, that gumption. Like, I'm gonna get up and go do this. I got it. And he was Leo too. Shout out to Leo, August 15th, August 17th, you feel me? I know you Virgo. Hey, Leo, I was like,
the second best sign right there.
It was like 2 days apart. I was like, cool, Neil, I see you. I understand the energy. Yeah, shout out to that. So, man, I think that was definitely something that I wanted to get on. Now, this piece right here I did, man, I actually did it after he passed. It was a hard piece to do. Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was heavily underneath that green seasoning. And it was just a vibe. I didn't really have a direction. I just wanted to just be free. Because I was just so sad. I need something. First time I really ever painted like sad. I don't really do that too often. I'm not really that type of painter that paints when I'm upset. I'm more of a painter, as you can tell, is very bright and vibrant. I like to be in a good space when I paint. So my colors are so bright. Cause I like brightness and being illuminating and all that. Illuminated, and all that good stuff. So yeah, man. So when I did that piece, I was just feeling it. I don't even remember how quickly I did. I did it in one weekend, though. I was moving fast. Right. I mean, it's not super detailed. I just wanted to do something graffiti-like. I just never did anything like that before. It was actually the biggest piece I ever did first. And I've never done a piece of this size. So wow. And then I did the Kobe when Kobe passed. I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I had to do another big piece. So I was just like, wow. But yeah, did you do anything like artistically you felt like was like
Not really. I feel like I was like like I said, I felt that energy there. You know what I'm saying? Like when we pass, you know, we leave, but I feel like our energy stays, and I just felt like something just pushing me to kind of like just be a better version of myself, a better businessman, a better, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I made better business moves after that, as opposed to doing anything really artistic. But so there's definitely an impact that way.
Okay. Yeah, definitely understand that for sure.
I mean, I think we done it, man.
We did it? Oh, has it been 40 minutes already?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, we so deep into it. I didn't realize we was in. Hey, man, so shoot. I mean, to wrap it up, man, I feel like, you know, we realize there are going to be people that's going to have an impact. Yeah. And what is your impact? What is your inner nip? And what are you doing about it? You know, what's your plan of action, POA? What do you aspire to do? What motivates you and inspires you? You know what I'm saying? And push that, because you just never know how that's going to impact the next person that's
absolutely
around. So, yeah, man. So to wrap it up, man, like I said, man, we just want to kind of, you know, give homage to the Don Nip, even though he's passed away several years back. He's still prevalent. He still has an impact. Still the president. So I'm still gonna rock Slauson. That's one of my favorite projects. Slauson Boys too is like, it should have been an album. I don't know how that slipped through, but it was a good, amazing mixtape. He has some amazing mixtape music. So
absolutely. I mean, I listened to Nip after he passed every day for like a full year, and I still am not tired of his music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I still
timeless.
Still go back to it. You know, on a regular.
Oh yeah. So he gets me through when I do Uber, Lyft, and Uber and all that stuff, and I'm tired. I just bump that Slauson Boy, and it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting tired. I need another hour to get some more money in, because when I wasn't working, that's what I was doing. I was just flipping them foods and flipping them people. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a legal flip, but there's a flip. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just go back and forth the apps and try to get this rent paid. So I just listen to Nip and just be speeding everywhere. Yeah. Late in the dark, somewhere in university, someone just driving fast for no damn reason. Anyway, don't judge me. Yeah. I am from Illinois, so we drive a little nuts. But nah, man, I think we definitely did it. I think we definitely talked about his impact, his influence. Definitely feel like, you know, if you want to comment, like, you know, share, whatnot, want to be on the pod, let us know. We definitely want to communicate, connect, and move forward with that as well too. So definitely want to do some more interviews with folks and connect and talk about things. And absolutely. So again, my name is Jacques Wright.
Adrian Peace.
And this is the Nice Guys Podcast. Thank y'all for y'all patience, y'all love, peace, all that good stuff. And man, y'all be safe, man. One love. Peace.